Unscripted.
I know it seems like I run this into the ground, but one of the things about video games and Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo is the competition, right? We all need competition. We all love competition. Competition is exactly what the doctor ordered, and the reason why we need competition is for a lot of different reasons, but the main reason is it helps the industry grow. And I know people don't like to hear that, or they think one thing or the other. To be quite honest with you, competition is the lifeblood of the industry. Like there's so many examples of this, it's not even crazy. You know, the Wii took off, and so the competition was from Sony. You know, they had the Move, Microsoft had the Kinect. Sony for the longest time had completely free online. Then they started doing, the PSN Plus and giving people games for the same price that Microsoft was charging people just to play online, which in result also ended up in Microsoft having to give away free games as well. So we keep seeing this type of thing, and we keep seeing it happen time and time again. And, again, competition is the lifeblood. We saw, to be honest with you, there's even stories about this. Phil Spencer saw how well the sales did for Horizon Zero Dawn on PlayStation, and that's what spurred him to get a team together to do another Fable. And that's working out incredibly well. When we see stuff like that happen, it's again that competition. People can sit there and go, Microsoft isn't in competition with Sony, and that's the logical thing, because Microsoft has programmed us to actually think that way. And what I mean by that is they go, oh, well, our console sales don't matter. This doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Of course it matters. If you didn't care about console sales, right? If you didn't care about console sales, then why on earth would you undercut what Microsoft, undercut what Sony did with the Xbox Series S? You wouldn't have bothered with something coming in that cheap. You wouldn't even have tried, right? So obviously there is something going on there. You definitely want to be able to to do something different, and I feel like that's exactly what we're starting to kind of see here, is that there is competition there, whether Microsoft admits it or not. I definitely think that that's going to be something that we do see before too long. But again, this is exactly what I've been talking about for the longest time, and I love to see see this kind of go through, and it does get me very excited to actually see stuff like this happen. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be excited by this news as well. So let's get started, shall we? What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with CrapgamerReviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me personally. If you guys wouldn't mind, like I said, lately it seems like even if you're subscribed to me, only 1% of people or less sometimes are getting notifications of my stuff for whatever reason. So hit the bell so you're notified of the content when it comes out. Thank you guys very much for always rocking out with me and stuff like that. Shout out to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, and everyone in between. You are much appreciated and much wanted as well. So thank you guys very much. I really do appreciate it. You guys, it means the world to me. So with that being said, Microsoft and Sony are in competition. Okay, regardless, Microsoft made a bunch of studio acquisitions and stuff like that. And you know what? They needed to make a bunch of studio acquisitions. They had, 4 or 5 studios after they closed down those 5 or 6 or 7 or however many it was way back in 2015. And so obviously they're going to need studios to kind of compete and stuff like that. It just makes sense, and they needed that. And they did it, and will those studios be on the level of what Sony has, early reports are no. Clearly that's not going to be the case, but that doesn't mean that they won't have some decent games in some years from now or whatever. It just means that their games and stuff are going to be catered towards Game Pass and stuff like that. So we'll actually have to see how that works. Now, according to this new report, Sony is actually looking for more developer acquisitions, obviously, and this is also coming to the report alongside Google, Microsoft, and Amazon looking for it. So according to this report, which I of course will link in the description below, you fine folks can check that out, peruse it at your own leisure and let me know what you think. Sony is reportedly looking to acquire more developers to add to its lineup of PlayStation studios, although Google, Microsoft, and Amazon are all apparently forming deals or discussing plans to a greater extent than Sony is at this present time. This comes from journalist Brad Sams, who specializes in Microsoft news, but highlighted in a recent video podcast that he's been hearing rumblings about acquisitions within the industry and that there are some big industry names that are actually out there being approached by Microsoft, included, but then you also have Amazon and you have Google as well. Brad goes on to say that Sony is part of the conversation, but it doesn't seem to be as much as Google and Amazon are. He actually brings up EA's recent bid to acquire racing game developer Codemasters, stating that there are new players within the gaming industry and they are looking for developers to own and to create new IP. He also says that he knows of 3 big acquisition deals that are going on right now from various companies, although he didn't mention who they are. Now, overall, this isn't really super surprising news, as Google and Amazon will be looking for developers to add to their streaming service, Stadia and Luna. Dude, I have to be completely honest with you guys. I forgot all about Luna until I just read this. Like, I'm reading this to you guys now. I forgot all about it. So that goes to show you how much I keep up with like game streaming and stuff like that. So I can imagine most of you guys are probably in the same boat. So Microsoft also looks to be continuing to hoover up developers. For Sony, the question is of who they will buy is a little bit less clear. The obvious answer is Bluepoint Games. It just released the incredible remake of Demon's Souls and has a long history of developing PlayStation exclusive games. As for who else, not really sure, but there's some rumors and things like that Lucid Games is going to be developing a new AAA game after releasing Destruction All-Stars next month exclusively on PlayStation 5, and it's just one of those things that could potentially see come before long. So the question remains, who would you like to see Sony scoop up? For me personally, it's not about the amount of studios that you get, it's like the quality of studios, because for me personally, and this is just me, I could completely understand if you guys feel differently, and that's fine because it's all just opinion, but for me personally, the Insomniac Games pickup that Sony did was much better and bigger than any of the studios that Microsoft picked up, in my opinion. Okay, like you have to keep in mind that I've always thought that In Exile is a trash studio. A lot of these studios that we see are definitely not studios that I consider to be like big time studios or studios that would like put up big AAA games and stuff like that. We just, for me personally, I'm not a big fan of Undead Labs. I liked the first State of Decay. The second one was the biggest letdown of last generation, or one of the biggest letdowns of last generation for me personally. So that really sucks. And for me, for Insomniac Games, 2018. In 2016, they did Ratchet & Clank. Great, amazing game. 2018, they did that Spider-Man game. Absolutely fantastic. Then 2 years later, they come out with Miles Morales. And a year after that, they come out with the new Ratchet & Clank that looks like it's really going to take advantage of the PlayStation 5 in so many different ways. And it's just like absolutely incredible to kind of see that happen. And they've just done a really good job with it. So to me, that's incredible because they picked them up after Microsoft picked up some of these other studios, and these other studios that Microsoft haven't even shown anything, don't have a direction. Some of them are just early ideas and projects and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely interesting to see sort of how this kind of plays out long term. Like I said, it's not the amount of studios. I think it's the quality of the studio. Like once Sony picked up Insomniac, they, in my opinion, have 4 of the top 6 studios ever in the world, and I look at Naughty Dog is probably the number 1, and then you look at Sony Santa Monica, you look at Insomniac Games, you look at Sucker Punch, you look at Polyphony Digital. Like, they have some of the top developers in the world, and I don't think anybody would actually go out there and kind of disagree with what I'm saying with that. I think that they would absolutely agree 100% with what I'm saying, and we continue to see that happening in the future as well. So yeah, for me personally, I think it's all about the quality, and again, Bluepoint would be a good one for them. I think some of the other ones, they don't have to be a huge show. It doesn't have to be a Bethesda. We know that Microsoft went out, they were forced to do that because they don't have anything, you know what I mean? They needed something, they needed to make a wave, and they especially needed to make a wave right before right before the launch of the Xbox Series X and S. They needed to do something to kind of get people to sort of think, hey, this is something that we're gonna do in the future, and this is gonna provide us with a ton of content and stuff like that. I think that that's probably the thought there, because I remember I was even super ecstatic by that pickup. I was like, oh well, you know, this does make me happy. I mean, I was getting one regardless because I do content about it, but it was just really nice to sort of see that actually come out and kind of be announced and stuff like that. So yeah, awesome to see that. Nice to see that. And this is, again, folks, why would Microsoft buy these studios and stuff if not for competition? You can sit there and go, oh well, Game Pass. Well, Game Pass is competition, folks. It's all competition. It is really all competition. So anyway, I will link this. Let me know what you guys think. Please sound off, rate, comment, subscribe. Stay safe, happy, and healthy, and all that kind of good stuff. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys rock out with me. Have a fantastic day. Rack 'em up. Game on, my friends. Game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.